we've got a special one for you tonight. I have here Late Night with the Devil. Now, this copy comes with a very nice little thanks for watching little postcard thingamajiggy, whatever you want to call it. It's in fancy paper, cardboard paper, whatever you want to call it. And it's signed by Jack Delroy, the fictional character of Late Night with the Devil. This film is fantastic. It is one of those movies that went directly to Shudder after a very brief theatrical run, and it did have a hard copy release. I love when these big Shudder movies get hard copy releases because I don't want to get the streaming services. I don't like them. If you like them, that's fine. I have no problems if you want to like them and all that stuff. But me, personally, I like to own a physical copy of what I want to watch, so that anytime I feel like watching something, I can pull it out, pop it in, and watch it without having to worry about any subscriptions and logins and account informations and all that other stuff. I'm sounding pretty old right now, but let's get back to Late Night with the Devil. Speaking of old, this takes place in the golden age of late night talk show hosts. And Jack Delroy is host of Night Owls. Now, a little bit of homework for you if you ever want to watch this one for yourself, or if you've already watched this and you're a little bit lost with some of the things and symbols that have happened with this film. The owl bit there, and the Bohemian Grove Society, and all sorts of conspiracies and secret cults and all that stuff with the cults of the elite and all that stuff, and spooky stuff. There's some exorcism nods with some makeup and effects of the possessed girl. There's a lot of great stuff going on in this film that, if you watch this and you go on this rabbit hole, you will find plenty of great things, especially if you're into this type of stuff and you want to learn about all this type of stuff. Night Owls is the name of the late night show, and the film is shot like an old 70s late night talk show. It looks and feels just like that. It has an opening 2-3 minute little breakdown talking about the life of Jack Delroy and his rise to fame, but how he could never really compete with Johnny Carson, who was the king of talk show hosts back then. And how, when you finally do get to see Jack Delroy on screen, you can tell why he never really was able to compete with Johnny Carson. His screen presence on the screen, his charisma, is a very mid performance. He's actually intentionally giving off a mid late night talk show host's charismatic performance, and he's incredible. This dude, I can't pronounce his name. I can never remember his name. David Dastmalchian. I probably butchered that last name, but David, he is incredible in this film. Oh wow. It almost makes me want to watch more episodes of this fictional late night talk show. I would actually watch sequels to this. I would watch prequels to this. I would watch the rise of Jack Delroy. Just watching episodes of this fictional late night talk show just because I found it that entertaining, that interesting. The first act is very slow, so if you're looking for the horror spookiness, that you're not going to get it in the first act. You're probably not going to get too much of it in the second act either. They're all building up the character. They're all building up the characters, all of the other people in the show. They build up the background information and give you tons of hints about what actually is contributing towards that supernatural factor that goes on in the third act. And when you finally learn about all that supernatural stuff and you find out about these other cultist stuff that have actually real life stuff that you could Google, like you can Google the Bohemian Grove right now and you'll learn about that. And we learn that they don't answer it like with flat out blatant answers or anything like that, but they hint. There's tons of hints, but even those hints could be wrong. That's the best thing about this type of film, is that whatever you think it is, it might be something else entirely. Night Owls is a fascinating little show that I really don't want to give it away, but that ending really makes you think, and a lot of people might not understand it, but that's the best part about it, is that the way it's hard to understand makes you want to press rewind if this were a tape, but just go back to the beginning chapter and watch it again and rewatch it and try to figure out all these little hints in the beginning of the film that explain that ending, because all of the answers are in the film. Every question that you had, that you saw at the ending of this film, it's in the movie somewhere. You just have to look for it. What you may not get, you may not catch it, because you may not be savvy with the Bohemian Grove, for example. If you're savvy with a lot of these things and a lot of these stuff that gets rapid fire mentioned at the beginning of the film, look up a bunch of those stuff, do a quick Google search, and you will thank me for that, so you can have some answers for the end of the film. But the film does answer it if you're savvy on these terms, if you're savvy on these real world comparisons, these real world things that did happen in the 70s. I enjoyed the heck out of Late Night with the Devil. I would watch it again. I would watch it a third time. If I didn't have a huge backlog, I'd probably be watching it again tonight. Late Night with the Devil is fantastic. I cannot recommend it enough. Watch it. Watch it again. Watch it a third time. It's fantastic.